All right, hello everyone. We will wait just a couple of minutes for anyone that might be running behind. This month's card class is the Delicate Desert Suite, is what we're going to be working with. And everything's going to fall down. It is this suite that we're working with today, the Delicate Desert Suite, on page 42 and 43 in the mini catalog. And this is what, when you order the whole suite, this is what it comes with. The bundle, the little embellishment, the ribbon, the dried brush metallic specialty designer series paper. Hi, Billy! And then the Delicate Desert 12x12 designer series paper. So that's what we're working with today. And these are the cards we will be creating. So in your kits, you should have everything except for glue. You will need some type of adhesive. So, but these are the cards we're going to be creating today. All right. And I think I'm going to start with Your Smile is Pure Magic. And for this one, everything I used came from the Desert Details stamp and die set. So when I get a stamp that also has a die, I have these magnetic sheets that I put to the opposite side so that I can keep my my dies with the stamp set. It's just easier for me to instead of having them in two different places. So the only thing is that sometimes when you pop it shut, one might come loose. But so starting with this card first, Your Smile is Pure Magic is the stamp that I used. I'm going to go ahead and get everything out. Hang on a second. Hang on. I'll be right back. I'm doing my video. My live video, I'm on live right now. Okay. Okay. Well, I gotta go because I have people watching me. Love you back. All right, sorry about that. Had an incoming phone call. All right, so in this set, or what we're going to start with, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the stamping first. With this set, this piece that is behind this flower piece, I used my Stamparatus. And this is the Stamparatus. And the Stamparatus comes to where you can put the pieces like this. Now, I've had other stamping platforms. I really like this one because you can, you can move this around. So like if you're doing like a stamping on, I can't get it out. You can move this down, like if you're stamping an image and you want to make it multiple, but you want to move it. This makes it possible so that you don't have to keep moving the stamp or the paper. You're just moving this to move it down. So I'm going to start with showing you. I've already stamped one end of this. I'm going to stamp the other. And so how I did it, and when you use red rubber stamps on the Stamparatus, it comes with this piece here. You need to pull this off. And it also comes with two very, very strong magnets. And I put tape on them to help handle them better. And you want to keep them apart as much as possible because when they connect, oh my goodness, it's hard to get them apart. So when I stamped this, I went down to over 2. Make sure I line that up with and I put a piece of paper because this is what it looks like underneath. I put a piece of our Stampin' Up paper underneath, our graph paper, to help catch any overage. And then I am using Cajun Craze ink to stamp this. And I'm just going to kind of stamp it in the middle of the stamp. So, and it's okay. And I will usually like do 1, 2, 3, just lightly. And this is a fairly new stamp. And then push down. And if it's if I think it needs a little more, I'll add some more ink. But that's the other nice thing about the Stamparatus is when you use it and you stamp, and if it's not as what you like and you need to add more, you haven't had to move it. You're not trying to try to do it with the stamp. Also, with the red rubber stamps, I struggle with them like crazy. It's hard for me to stamp without using the Stamparatus because I can't get it even. Since I can't see it from the other side, I will pretty much always use the Stamparatus. Sometimes I don't, and then I'm kicking myself because I don't. But so, all right. So there's that one. And then next, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the greeting for this one. All the other ones, I went ahead and did those beforehand. But again, since it is a red rubber stamp and I struggle, I practiced with it before I put it on my paper. And you can see that here, how I tried to make sure I lined it up on that. And so here is what I'm going to use, my little strip of paper. And again, I'm going 2 down and 2 over. It's just something it became a habit for me. And so with this one, because of the way it is on the card and I'm going to cut off a little bit, I want to make sure I was going as far over as I possibly could with the sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and put the magnet. I'm not going to use both of them on that. Kind of make sure. Need to stand up and look. Yep, I think it's going to be okay. All right, and with this, I used gray granite to stamp it. And just kind of push. You don't want to push too hard because if you do, then it might smudge it a little bit, but I think that'll work. All right, so there's that. And close up my ink. And move this off to the side because I'm done with that for now. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. So I'm going to just diagonally, and you would also need a pair of scissors. So adhesive and scissors. I'm going to go ahead and just trim to make that look like that. All right. So now we will go ahead and put our card together. So we have a card base that is 5.5 by 4 1/4. That's what it, but when you cut it, it would be, oh my goodness, 5.5 by 8.5. And then we score it and fold it. And when I score it, I always like to take my bone folder and go ahead and rub it to help it lie down better. So, all right, so this, you're going to need this piece of DSP. You can use the green side if you want. You don't have to, because I think if you chose to go this way, again, when I give you the card kits, you don't always have to do it the way I am doing it. You can do it however you want. So if you like the other side better, feel free to use it. It's completely up to you. All right, so then I'm going to get my tape runner and put adhesive around my DSP. And then we are just going to kind of center that up. Okay. All right. Then next, you're going to need these two pieces. Your Calypso Coral cardstock with your DSP, and the piece you got might look different than mine because I cut it off of one 12 by 12, and each, depending on where you cut it, might be a little bit different. And then again, we're just going to put some adhesive. And then this piece is gonna go from end to end, but in the center, and you wanna see a little bit of the cardstock on each side. Okay? Like that. And then we're going to take that, and it is going to, you can put it about like that. We're going to glue it down like that. All right, so that's what we're going to do next. I ate before I started, but my tummy is growling. All right, so there's that. All right, so our next piece is these two pieces, Calypso Coral with the DSP, and again, you can use either side. I just kind of like this, you know, textured, old worn look, so I went with that side. So we'll do that. Darn it. And then again, it's going to go end to end, and then just kind of center it in the middle. I think I got mine a little crooked, but it'll be okay. All right, and that's what it should look like next. If I get to going too fast, just say, hey, slow down. And then we're just going to put some more adhesive on this side. And then again, we're going to take it probably about halfway down, maybe not exactly halfway, maybe about 2/3 of the way down. And it's going to go from side to side of that DSP and put that down like that. Okay? All right. So next is this piece that I stamped. And we're going to kind of center that on this piece. Oh, well, I can slow down. I'm happy to slow down. I understand the whole adhesive part. Not wanting to work like you want it to. And you can always catch the replay too. So it'll always be on my Facebook page. And then I also share it to my YouTube channel. So, but. So anyways, let's see. Why? I think I might have cut mine a little bit big. Because on this card, okay, on this card you'll notice, yep, I cut this one a little bit bigger. Because it has a little bit of the green on the side. This one I made bigger than that. So that's okay. No big deal. I'm going to go with it. Whoever gets the card is never going to know. All right, so then I'm just going to kind of center that up on that piece like that. All right. Then you would have gotten this, I don't know, flower, cactus, something. And when I cut these out, of course, there's all these pieces. And so after I cut them out, I put the pieces back, and then I put double-sided tape on the back to help hold them in place. Some people, and the first time I ever used it, I did use glue, but the glue is so sticky, and then if you get too much, it kind of comes out the edge, and I just didn't like it. So I started using the tear-in tape, and this is the tear-in tape. And, you know, you just pull it, cut it off, put it on there, and then I use my take your pick tool, and I peel that off of the, you know what, I think I'm going to go ahead and finish peeling it off, but I'm going to come back because it looks like I put the ribbon on first across it before I, oh my goodness. And another thing is when you put the tear tape down, you can kind of burnish it to make sure it sticks really good. Because if not, when you come back with the pick tool, it might pull up the adhesive too. So turn it. Just want to stick to my fingers. Okay. So before we put that down, we're going to use, you have a piece of ribbon that I gave you, and you just kind of want to center that. And I'm also going to trim mine up a little bit because I made mine a little bit longer. Kind of, and on the card I made it kind of shorter, and after I got done I was like, oh, I wish I would have made that ribbon just a little bit longer. All right, I'm going to go this way. Cut one at a flat. So, all right. And I usually wouldn't use this ribbon very often because to me it's kind of thick and it's hard to make bows with it, but I figured I needed to make at least one card with the ribbon that came with it. All right, so I'm just going to take my tape runner. On the other one, I had used liquid glue and it kind of seeped through and I didn't like that. So this, I'm just going to use my tape runner. And then just kind of center that in the middle and put that down like that. Okay? All right, now back to our little flower here. I am now going to take and put some dimensionals on it. These are the dimensionals. And I'm just going to kind of spread them out. Since these are the bigger ones, you can take your scissors and cut them in half. And this is where your pick tool comes in good. think I got it completely cut. Nope, there we go. And then I'm going to put this one up here. I cut it in half and then put it up there. All right. And then I'm going to peel the backs off of those. And then I'm just going to kind of center that. I also don't want to make it, oh no, okay. Where, I want to make sure that it's not, yeah, that this is not going to go over the card. So kind of just center that. And then put it down. See, and that ribbon's kind of making it pop up a little bit, but that's all right. So there we are so far. Okay. Then this little, I don't know what you would call that. We're going to just glue that down here on the bottom. And this, I am going to get a little bit of liquid glue for it. I'm not going to use too much. This glue, and I think I've told everybody before, it is so sticky if you get it on your fingers. So I do my best not to use a lot of it when I do, and just enough. I mean, because it's sticky, it's tacky. So, but just enough to hold that in place. All right. And then next, I'm trying to remember. Yep. Next, we're going to put our sentiment on. And again, I did use a couple of dimensionals. So I'm going to put one here and one here. Let's see, before I put it down, let's make sure. Yeah, I'm just going to do the two, because where it sits at, the oh my goodness, what do they call those? Or you don't have to water them very often, like aloe vera. That's what I'm thinking of. That's what that reminds me of. And then I'm just going to kind of put that on like that. All right. And there's the first card. And I think this was, to me, this was the hardest of the four. So, but, and there we go. So there's that card done. All right. So, again, like I made the ribbon a little bit longer. This is a little bit different, but, and it should be able to go through regular postage. So you shouldn't have any problems sending it like that. Okay. Card number 2. We're going to go to this one. Let the fun begin. With this one, I also used the Quiet Meadow dies, because to make this, I needed this die. So that is from this set. So, and in this, put that in there. We're using the gray granite cardstock. Let's set this right here for now. So we have it as a visual. And I'm gonna use my bone folder and make that lie down a little bit flatter, hopefully. All right, so we're gonna start. You should have a 5 1/4. Should be 5 1/4 by 4. Actually, I did mine a little bit bigger on this one. All right, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 piece of cardstock, and this is going to go on the inside. All right, so and then we're just going to center that up. And this is where you could also maybe take some of the other stamps that came with it, like maybe the little flower. and maybe stamp it right on the inside if you wanted to. Kind of decorate it up. You could also decorate your envelopes. Sometimes I decorate them. I don't always decorate them. So, all right, now we have this piece, and this piece, and this piece. And again, the only one you wouldn't be able, this one is white on the other side, so you're going to need this piece. And you could go the opposite direction. You could go this way instead of the way I have it on here. So any direction you want to go. And then you could switch the sides. You don't have to stick with what I have. Kind of like that with that better. I don't know. Let's see. So see, you can do it any way you want. So, just using my tape runner. If you want to set them up and kind of get an idea of how you want to lay them before you start putting your tape runner down, you can do that. Okay, so there's that piece. That and this. I think I am. Mix that up a little bit. And put this piece down. Just kind of put it up right against the piece you already put down. And then this one. Okay. And there you go. There's that. All right, next we have this piece. And again, you can use whichever side you want. It doesn't have to be. I'm still gonna do that one. And it's just gonna sit off to the right. You can also go this way if you want instead. It's completely up to you. I'm gonna go ahead and go this direction with it. All right. Then we have the flower that I used this stamp for, and cut it out. And we're going to put some dimensionals on this one. I'm just going to do like 3. And as you can see, as I used this unstamped and it didn't come out right there. And again, that's because I only used this and not the Stamparatus. And had to restamp it because if I couldn't have went back over it, especially with the rubber red stamps. All right, so then you just put that on there however you want. Okay. Then again, I went ahead and did the same thing I did like on the other plant. It's kind of put the double-sided tape. I feel it wanting to come up like it's supposed to. And with this one, since I'm not putting dimensionals on it, I'm just going to put it down. I'm not even going to worry about putting any glue or anything. So I'm just going to put that down like that. Okay? So there's that. Then we have our Let the Fun Begin. Again, I'm putting a couple of dimensionals on the back. And you can see again, I use that side for something. It's a nice thing about paper. There's always another side if you mess up. All right. Then we're just going to, let's see, kind of, should probably put one in the middle. So there's that. And then we're going to finish off with putting our embellishments on it. So this one has 3 different ones. It has a small one, a medium-sized one, and then one of these big, like, teardrop ones that you should have gotten. You should have enough in your kit for each one of the cards. And I just usually use my pick tool to kind of pick it up. And you don't have to put them where I've put them. You can put them wherever you want on your card. The thing is they say you always want to do odd numbers when you put. So if you do, you can do 3 or 5 because it pulls the eye in better that way. So all right. So there's that card. And again, I did that one a little bit different than the other one, but all right. Okay. Tuck that one away. All right. Next one. All right. For this one, this is the first one I created. And I kind of did things a little bit. When I started creating it, I had cut out where this would sit, but then when I went back, I was like, we're just gonna make it easy. So anyways, so in your kit, you should have your very vanilla cardstock for your card base. We have a piece of gray granite that we are going to use on the outside. And as you can see, as I was stamping, I accidentally dropped my stamp onto my card, but for the most part, it's going to be covered up. So I am not worried about it. So, all right. And the way I did my stamps, or my flowers, is I did it 2 different, depending. So I stamped it with pale papaya ink. I stamped it and then I stamped off to make it lighter. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean by stamping off. Move this over here. So kind of make sure that I got it all. All right, so I stamped. And then I stamp off because there'll still be some extra ink. And so it's kind of lighter. So you really, I mean, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but you know. And then you can use either one. You can either use the dark or the light for your sentiment. All right. And then what I did is I took the words after this dried a little bit and then just stamped them in the middle, which is "You are what sunshine feels like." And then I cut it out. So with this one's pretty quick and easy. Move this over here. We're going to go ahead and put our piece of gray granite cardstock on. Kind of center it up. It's a little off, but that's okay. And then we're going to take this piece, and again, you can use whichever side you want. Cajun Craze is kind of one of my, because that's the color here, is one of my favorite colors. I don't know. And go the other direction. And you just kind of want to, doesn't have, you know, just kind of like that. This piece is going to cover it up a little bit. So next you're going to, guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to put my ribbon on it. I mean my yarn, my string. So we're going to put it on this side. So you should have enough string. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on the back. And what I do is I take the string and I wrap it, stick it to that adhesive, and then I'll do that in a minute. Then I wrap it down, and I learned this from another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And then you put it like that, and then just wrap it back around and bring it back up. And what happens is this helps, or this, you're not using as much when you do it this way. Okay, and I'm going to cut that off, and you should have enough string to do that. And then what I will do is I will either take my tape runner and run it over it, or I'll take some tear and tape, and this just rips off, and I will lay it over it to help hold it in place. Okay, then take my tape runner, and then I'm going to put that piece on. Now I'm going to try to line it up. I want a little bit of a edge, but I also want to make sure that it matches with the piece I already laid down. And guess what? Somewhere along the line, I have cut mine short. So I'm going to improvise. I hope I got yours right in your kits. I'm just going to kind of scoot it down a little bit. Well, either way I go, there. That way, if it shows a little bit on each end, it's no big deal. It looks like I did it on purpose. But, all right. So next, we are going to put these pieces on. And one's going to go here, and one's going to go here. And what I did is I just kind of tried to line them up to be where they look kind of in the middle. And again, you're going to get some dimensionals and put them on the back. Try to make sure that you don't put them on over the holes. And you want to be careful. These little things right here, they're kind of delicate, so try not to bend them too much. So there are my dimensionals. Just kind of try to center that up. Oop. Best you can. All right. And then next we're going to put our flower, and I'm going to go with the lighter, since I did the darker the last time, the stamped off one. Decide how you want it, because you only need to put dimensionals on the sides like that, because you're not going to have to worry about it since it's going to be sitting on those. And then set that down like that. And then next, we will put our little embellishments. And again, one big one, two small, two medium. And you do not have to do it like I do. Kind of after I did this, I kind of didn't like that, but it was already done. So this time, oops, probably just going to, and I don't even, let's see. Maybe put one up there on the flower, and one more small one down here. So, and there's that card, all done. So card number 3. Oops, where's my thing I put it in? It's all right, I'll just switch it out. All right. All right, card number 4, our last card. Sending warm rays your way. I liked that this set had 4 different sentiments because I tried to use each one. If I can get a stamp set that has multiple sentiments, I try to use as many as possible instead of the same one, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So, with this one, we are using soft succulent cardstock. And again, we are going to start with, I don't think I stamped my flowers. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and put our piece of white, basic white, inside. That's set. Okay. Okay. Then next, and this card's going to go this way, we are going to put this piece. And this piece kind of looks like a sky. So you kind of want to, you know, choose which, because you want to make sure you're going, your card's opening the right way. And then just decide, do you want it to be like this? Do you want it to be like this? I think I'm going to go with that way because this kind of looks like a hill. So put that down. What did I say? This way. Okay. So just like that. All right. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put my Cajun Craze, and it's going to go right across like that. Got mine a little short. Okay. And do that. I'm just going to kind of try to put that in the center. Okay, darn it. I'll fix that and put a little bit of, it kind of popped up. I'm going to put a little liquid glue in it later. All right, so next, this piece right here, we're going to kind of put it in the center, because what happened, what I was doing is when you put this piece on, you want to make sure that it's not too far over where it would stick out where you could see it in the holes. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put this piece. Kind of in the center and in between. Kind of like that. All right. All right, so before I go on, I realized I did not stamp these two flowers before we started, or before I started. I forgot to wet my cloth that I wipe my stamps off. So I stamped one of the flowers in Soft Succulent, the big one. And if I'm not mistaken, I think sometimes when I can't get it like I want, I will flip it over and stamp it this way. Okay? I think I might have stamped off with that because it is kind of dark, so I did. So I stamped off. There it is. All right. Then the small one I stamped with Cajun Craze. And I think I know why I might have not stamped them. Here's the little flower. Switch it out for this. Make sure it looks good. Just stamp it off to the side there. So there's that one. And I think maybe why I didn't cut them out is because I wanted to show you, you don't always have to buy the dies too. You can get just the stamps and then you can fussy cut. Because when I first started in card making, I didn't have a die machine, and even then dies weren't a big huge thing because I've been doing this for, oh my goodness, 13 years. And so everything I would stamp I had to fussy cut. I didn't have the die machine. And then when I got my first die machine, because I didn't want to pay for it, I actually got it by taking my stuff at Scrapbook of Memories, because she was doing garage sales twice a year, and you would take your stuff in, and whatever you sold, then you had to take the money or you use the money and it was store credit. And so that's how I got my first die machine was, I did the garage sale. I think I sold enough that I was like only $4 off, and so I only had to come up with $4 more to buy my first die machine. So, but you don't always have to, you can buy just the stamps. So I just kind of wanted to show you. And when you're fussy cutting, you move the paper, not the scissors. So just kind of go along the edge. I have a trash can that I keep on my crafting desk. And that's when you see me go that way, I'm always just putting something in the trash. All right, see? Pretty simple. And here in a minute, we'll go ahead and put that down. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut out this smaller one. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. It makes it easier to maneuver when the paper isn't as bulky. All right, and there's that one. Okay. So, I'm trying to think, did I put, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put the flowers down first. And I just glued them. I'm just going to put some glue in the middle here, because as you see as I put this one down, and I just kind of put them in the center. I want to I don't want it to stick down. I kind of want it to stay up off the paper. And then this one, I just kind of, oh, that one I actually did a dimensional. I'm going to let that dry a minute. So while that one is doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put this down. And we're just going to kind of center it in the card. And I did use dimensionals. So with your big dimensionals, again, you can cut them. So here's that one I cut in half. So you're going to want to cut them in half. And you'll notice on the sides here, I can actually, let me put these down. I'm going to go ahead and cut and use these for this, because they're perfect fit for that. And I think I have 2 on each side. So all right, wrong end. I'm gonna try to use my pick tool to get these off, because you want to be careful, because this is flimsy and we don't want to rip it. All right. So, again, just kind of try to center it up. I want to try to center that up more with, I think I've messed up. Oh, poo. You can probably hear my dog in the background. I think something's being delivered. I'm being picky on this. Getting technical. Okay. All right. Next, we are going to, I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of dimensional on the back of this flower with the glue. And then I'm going to put that down right there. Okay. Then on your, I went ahead and stamped this ahead of time, sending warm rays your way. And again, I'm going to do that diagonal cut. And I'm going to put that here. So, but with my dimensionals, I am going to put dimensionals up at the top. And again, I'm just going to cut them in half. Let's see, I'm going to put one right about there. And then I'm just going to put one right about here, because the way it's set, it's going to set on that flower, and so it's going to pop it up too. kind of just centered it in that frame. And if you wanted, you could put a little glue on that to help it stick more. You don't have to. Turn it. Then next is the embellishments. So, I gave you 2 small ones, a big one, a medium one, and this little quarter moon. And that I just stuck there. I took my small ones and stuck them on the holes here. Let's see, I'm not liking that. Stuck one there. I did stick the big one here, but I think I'm just gonna leave it down here on the paper. And there's that one. I like this one better. I got a little technical with this one, but, and there's the last card. Okay. Just a couple of quick things before I sign off. Just to let you know that the card kit that I will be doing for March is going to be Rain or Shine card kit. And again, it'll be 4 cards, $20. I will just need to know by March 3rd if you're interested in that. It's going to be, I'm not going to be using these little things, but I do have the cards already created, and I will be posting that up later this afternoon. And then in April, get these out of the way, I'm going to be doing Mother's Day, a Mother's Day and Spring cards for the kit. Of course, I can't find it right now. So 4 cards, $20 for April, or if you place a $50 or more order, you get the kit free. And so we will be using this set, the Marigold Moments, for our Mother's Day cards. And then we'll also be making something using the Around the Bend set. So that will be April. So March, the Rain or Shine. April, Mother's Day. May, I'm not sure yet because we will have a new annual catalog coming out in May. So I'll be doing something from that. So if you're interested in the new annual catalog, please let me know so I can make sure I order enough for that. And then just also one more thing. Celebration ends at the end of this month. So every time you place either a $50 order or a $100 order, you have the opportunity to get items free. And that ends on February 28th. So thank you for joining me today. If you are watching on YouTube, please make sure you like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'm happy to help. And thanks for crafting with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Billy. I will talk to you later. Bye.